Welcome to the Adobe InDesign video instructions. When doing the exercise and watching the instruction video at the same time, it is easy to jump between programs with the Alt-Tab shortcut. Also remember the pause shortcut in YouTube, which is the K key. You can jump 10 seconds either backward or forward with the J and L keys. Before we start, download all of the necessary files and copy them to a work folder, where we will also save the InDesign document. When you have done all of this, open InDesign. Click on the new document to create a new document. Let's take off the Facing Pages tick box and change the page size to A5. Also change the orientation to landscape and set up 2 columns. Let's set up the margins at 5 mm and bleed at 3 mm. When the document has been created, we can see the columns, margins and the bleed. It is good to set up all of these when creating a document. Margins will help you set up different objects within the document, and the bleed area is good to have when making a printable brochure or a similar thing. But first, let's save the document in the same place where you moved all of the previously downloaded files. During working, you can use the shortcut Ctrl and S for quick save. Before we start placing the files and text, let's make 3 more layers and name them like shown here. Layers are a good way to differentiate different objects within one document. Then let's add one more page, select the pages from the right toolbar and click the New Page button. Then let's create the background for the document. Select the A master page from the Pages toolbar. The changes made in the master page affects all other pages too. Then make sure the background layer is selected. To import the image to the background, select the Place option from the File menu and select the image. Also zoom out a bit. You can use the right mouse button or use the shortcut Ctrl and plus or minus to do this. Then make sure the selection tool is active. Then drag the background image to the center and resize it from dragging in the corner while pressing Shift and Ctrl. As you can see, the changes made in the master page affect all of the pages. Then lock the background layer and select the elements layer and drag it so it will be on top of the background layer. Then let's create a box for the text. Make sure the master page and the elements layer are still selected. Then set up the fill color to white with no stroke. After that, choose the rectangle tool and draw a box using the margins. Now take the direct selection tool and select the top left anchor point of the created box. Then drag it a bit down and make a slight curvature to the corner by using the Convert Direction Point tool. Just select the anchor point and drag down a bit. Now let's copy the white box. Make sure your selection tool is in use and just right-click the box and select Copy. You can also just select the box and use the shortcut Ctrl and C. Then right-click on the other side of the page and choose Paste. Also reflect the box horizontally from the top toolbar. Now let's lock the elements layer. Create 4 different color swatches like shown here in the video. Just enter the provided C, M, Y and K values like shown here and click the Add CMYK swatch. Now all of the created swatches are in the swatch menu. Also name the colors like here. Let's add the text. Activate the text layer and draw text boxes inside the white background. Useful shortcut for modifying the text is the Ctrl and A, which selects all of the text. Note that you will have to have the cursor inside the text box. You can also place text from Word documents by choosing Place from the File menu. Just make sure you create the text box first and then place the text. Place all of the text like shown in the video. Remember that you can pause the video by using the keyboard shortcut K in YouTube. Now let's bring the images. Make sure the images layer is selected and use the place option to import the images to the document. The images will be a bit big, so remember the shortcut Shift, Ctrl and drag for scaling. Place the lamp and the clock images like shown here. Now that the inner page is done, let's do the front cover. Select the Pages option from the right and drag the None page into the page 1 and double-click it to select it. Then we will add guides. If the rulers on the edge of the document are not visible, click the shortcut Ctrl and R, which will make them visible. Then just make sure your selection tool is in use and just click the ruler and drag down. This will create a guide to the document. Drag 2 guides to the document like shown here. Also place the front cover image to the document and resize it. You can crop a bit from the top of the image, just drag down from the center to cut some height off. Place also the two Laurea logos to the document and resize them. As you will notice, InDesign will center the images automatically by the margins and the columns. Then, change the layer back to the text layer and place the title text and contact information to the document, like shown here. Since the title is not visible, create a rectangle under it using the rectangle frame tool. Also choose the previously created blue color for that. Also send the rectangle back by clicking it with the right mouse button and select Send Back from the Arrange option. Note that you can use this function for every object in the document. Also change the title text color to white. When the document seems to be ready, let's do a final check. Choose the Preview view from the bottom left toolbar. You can do some little adjustments to the text for more breathing room between the objects, like shown here. Also check the inner pages. You can add the Justify all lines to all of the main texts and change the spacing of the letters. On the right page, you can resize the text boxes so they won't overlap with the images. Also move the images a bit lower. As a final touch, let's change the opacity of the background. Choose the master page and the background layer. Make sure you unlock the layer so you can select the image. You can lower the opacity from the upper toolbar, like shown here. Then let's package the whole document. Select Package from the File menu. Packaging makes a folder of all of the elements in the document, including the images and fonts. Also, it saves the InDesign document and makes a printable PDF of it. After completing the work, remember to copy all of the files to your Laurea network drive, so you can access the files later on from any computer in the Laurea network. Just copy and paste the folder to your own network drive.